The epicenter of this national crisis is New York. More than 5,000 new cases were announced today alone across the state, bringing the total to roughly 31,000, about half of all cases nationwide. New York City alone had more than 100 deaths yesterday, a little less than half of all deaths reported due to the coronavirus complications in the United States. The city today said it is readying a makeshift morgue in case of a surge, and city officials are sounding the alarm about a spike in 911 calls that are already overwhelming the FDNY. But it's not just New York. There are signs of emerging hotspots in other areas of the country, starting down south. In Louisiana, the number of cases are rising at an alarming pace, with New Orleans squarely at the center of an emerging outbreak. The governor there, John Bel Edwards, said yesterday that they now have more cases per capita than any other state besides New York and Washington. And a study from the University of Louisiana Lafayette warned that the state's growth rate may be the largest in the world. In Atlanta, the mayor there is now saying that their intensive care units are at full capacity already. Residents have been ordered to stay at home. We're going to speak to the mayor of Atlanta in a few minutes about how she's handling things. In Miami, the city has now ordered its residents to shelter in place. And Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis is facing continued pressure to take similar action statewide. In West Virginia, which was the last state in America to report a confirmed case of a coronavirus infected person, well, that governor today, Jim Justice, said that their numbers have jumped dramatically. You can even add rural Iowa to the list of states that have had to declare major disaster declarations in order to get federal government reimbursements that have been approved by the president. Nationwide, as of this afternoon, the number of confirmed cases has surged past 60,000. It bears repeating that those numbers are probably lowballing the actual caseload because of the testing shortages and backlogs. More grimly, there were more than 225 deaths yesterday alone, compared to just 18 last Tuesday. And let me give you another grim picture. It was March 17th that we recorded our 100th death. Tomorrow, 9 days from now, 9 days from March 17th, we're likely to record our 1,000th death in this country. That's how fast. It took us 18 days to go from 0 to 100. And it looks like it may take us just 9 days to go from 100 to 1,000. So it's been rough on this nation. It's been shut down by this virus. And it's grim numbers and a grim reminder for a president who wants it reopened by Easter. Ohio's governor, for instance, this afternoon said his state won't see its peak until May. Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.